Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. First off, I want to sincerely thank you for the incredible support you've shown by sharing all these videos about candles, baths, and rituals I've been uploading. Your comments, private messages, and testimonials have filled me with energy to keep sharing these ancient teachings with all of you. Today, I have something truly special for you. A ritual bath that I consider one of the most powerful out there, rooted in the teachings of Saint Cyprian himself. For those who may not know, Saint Cyprian was a powerful sorcerer and magician who mastered the dark arts, but later converted to Christianity and used all his knowledge to combat witchcraft and malevolent works. That's why his rituals are so effective. He understood from the inside how spells and curses work. This particular bath I call Saint Cyprian's unblocking bath because it literally breaks any witchcraft, binding, hex, or bad luck that may be affecting you. It's like a spiritual bomb that destroys all the negativity surrounding you and has been hindering your progress in life. And you see, dear friends, often we don't understand why things go wrong. We ask ourselves, why am I not thriving? Why isn't my business growing? Why can't I find love? Why do I feel so tired and drained? We search for logical explanations, but what we often fail to see is that there are negative forces working against us. These negative energies can come from many sources. Envy from co-workers or family, an ex who holds a grudge, or even witchcraft specifically aimed at harming us. Over time, these energies accumulate like layers of spiritual dirt, gradually sinking us into misery and failure. The worst part is that these energies act like invisible parasites that feed off our life force. The longer they linger, the harder it is to free ourselves from them. It's as if we are trapped in an invisible net that slowly suffocates us. I've seen truly remarkable cases. People who had everything to succeed, intelligence, training, skills, but struggled to take off in life no matter how hard they tried. And after performing this Saint Cyprian ritual bath, their lives took a 180-degree turn. Suddenly, the doors that were closed began to open. Money started to flow, toxic relationships vanished, and health improved significantly. I'm not exaggerating when I say this is one of the most powerful rituals I know. If you feel that something is off in your life, that an invisible force is preventing you from moving forward, then this bath might be exactly what you need. But I need to be very honest with you from the start. This is not just any bath. It's not like the luck or attraction baths I've shared before. This is a deep cleansing ritual that can have very intense effects. So, I want you to pay close attention to everything I'm going to explain, especially the warnings I'll mention later. So get ready, because today we will learn step by step how to prepare and perform the powerful Saint Cyprian bath to eliminate witchcraft, unblock your path, and finally free yourself from that bad luck that has caused you so much harm. Let's get started. Before we dive into the details of the ritual, I want to share something important with you. Every day, I receive dozens of comments and messages from people who are desperate. I read testimonies from mothers who can't find work to feed their children, from men who have lost everything in inexplicably failing businesses, from couples who live in constant conflict for no apparent reason, and from people suffering from illnesses that doctors can't diagnose. And when I dig deeper into their stories, I almost always find patterns indicating the presence of negative spiritual works or the accumulation of harmful energies. This is not coincidence or superstition. In the ancient manuscripts of Saint Cyprian, known as the Book of Saint Cyprian or the Grimoire of Saint Cyprian, the symptoms of those under negative influences are described in detail. Saint Cyprian dedicated a large part of his life, after his conversion, to documenting how to identify and counteract these black magic works. He understood that knowledge is power, and he wanted to ensure that his teachings endured through time to help future generations protect themselves. The ritual bath I'm going to teach you today is not a modern invention. Its roots go back centuries and have been passed down from master to apprentice in the most serious esoteric traditions. The effectiveness of this ritual has been proven over generations, and if done correctly, the results can be truly transformative. But I must warn you right now, this is a powerful ritual. It's not a game or an experiment to satisfy curiosity. It's a spiritual tool for those who are truly suffering from the effects of negative energies or witchcraft. And like any powerful tool, it must be used with respect and caution. Many of you have written to me saying things like, "I feel like someone has worked against me. Everything has been going wrong since I had an argument with a certain person. My business was thriving and suddenly started to decline without explanation. My relationship was perfect until that person came into our lives. I feel a constant weight on my shoulders. I have recurring nightmares with shadows or dark figures. All of these are classic signs, described in the texts of Saint Cyprian as indicators of negative influences. And if you relate to any of these symptoms, then this ritual bath could be exactly what you need to break free." Now, let's start with the preparation of the bath. The first thing we need are the ingredients, and I want to explain not only what we will use, but also why each element is important according to St. Cyprian's teachings. For the demonstration, I will show each ingredient. Let's start with something that you probably all have in your kitchen: onion. Although it seems like a common ingredient, in spiritual cleansing rituals, onion has extraordinary power. According to St. Cyprian's writings, onion acts like a sponge that absorbs negative energies. That's why we'll need a piece of onion for our bath. We won't be using the whole onion that you see here in the presentation, just a piece that we'll add to the hot water. This is the first step of our powerful cleansing ritual. Now let's move on to the rest of the ingredients, each with specific properties to combat different types of spiritual works. The second essential ingredient for this ritual bath is wormwood, also known as holy herb in some regions. What you see here is authentic wormwood. You can use it fresh or dried. Both forms are effective. Wormwood is one of the most powerful herbs mentioned in St. Cyprian's manuscripts to combat witchcraft. According to tradition, St. Cyprian particularly valued wormwood because it has the ability to dissolve negative energetic ties. When someone has performed a work to bind, control, or negatively influence your life, invisible threads are created that tie you to that harmful energy. Wormwood acts as a spiritual solvent that cuts those threads and frees you from those influences. In the original grimoire of St. Cyprian, it is mentioned that wormwood was used by ancient exorcists to expel negative entities, and its bitter taste was considered repulsive to malevolent energies. That's why it's essential in this ritual bath. The third ingredient we need is rue. This plant is perhaps one of the most recognized in spiritual protection works. Rue has a strong and distinctive odor, and according to St. Cyprian's teachings, that fragrance acts as a protective shield. Rue not only eliminates negative energies, but also creates a barrier that prevents new witchcraft from affecting you in the future. In ancient Cyprian texts, rue is described as sacred and used in the most important protection rituals. It is said that its small leaves contain extraordinary power to repel all types of hexes and curses. Now, I want to make an important clarification. I've heard that some people recommend adding chili to spiritual cleansing baths, arguing that the heat burns the witchcraft. However, I must warn you not to use chili in this ritual bath. First, because it can severely irritate the skin and eyes, causing unnecessary physical harm. And second, because according to St. Cyprian's texts, there are much more effective and safer herbs for this purpose. It's important to remember that the goal of this ritual is to heal and protect, not to harm ourselves. The ingredients I'm sharing with you are safe for the physical body unless you have a specific allergy to any of them. In the original manuscripts of St. Cyprian, some poisonous herbs are mentioned that were used in very specific rituals. However, I won't discuss them in this video for two reasons. First, because they might censor the channel, and second, because they are difficult to obtain and potentially dangerous if not handled correctly. What I can tell you is that, according to Cyprian tradition, tobacco can function as an effective substitute for these more dangerous herbs. Tobacco has very powerful purifying properties and acts as a catalyst that amplifies the effects of the other herbs. If you have access to natural tobacco, not commercial cigarettes with chemical additives, you can add a small amount to your ritual bath. But this is completely optional. Another ingredient you can incorporate, although it's also optional, is pine berries or needles. As you can see here, these small pine fruits have special properties. According to St. Cyprian's writings, pine has the ability to cleanse not only the person, but also the home and the environment surrounding them. If you feel that there are strange presences in your house, objects moving inexplicably, shadows in the corners, or simply a constant feeling of heaviness and discomfort, then adding pine to your bath will be especially beneficial. The energies of pine penetrate every corner of the house, cleansing and purifying the space. It's important to mention that all these herbs we've listed are considered exorcist herbs in the St. Cyprian tradition. This means they have the ability to expel negative energies and unwanted entities from both the physical body and the energetic body. The specific combination of onion, wormwood rue, and optionally tobacco and pine creates a powerful synergy that attacks negativity from multiple angles. It's like a complete spiritual army where each soldier fulfills a specific function in the battle against harmful energies. Now, these ingredients must be prepared in a specific way to maximize their effectiveness. It's not enough to simply mix them in water. There's a ritual procedure we need to follow, and I'll explain it in detail when we get to the usage instructions. For now, I want you to see how I've organized all the ingredients for this demonstration. As you can see, we have the onion, wormwood, rue, and optionally pine. Each of these elements has been carefully selected for its potency and effectiveness according to St. Cyprian's ancient teachings. Now that you know all the necessary ingredients for this powerful ritual bath, I want to delve into the specific purpose of each herb according to Cyprian tradition. It's important to understand not only what we will use, but also why and how each element acts in this spiritual cleansing process. In the ancient manuscripts attributed to St. Cyprian, these herbs are specifically classified as exorcist herbs. This term might sound intimidating, but it simply means they have the ability to expel negative energies and undesirable entities that may be affecting our lives. The process is similar to how an antibiotic works in our body. It identifies harmful elements and eliminates them without affecting what is beneficial to us. Each herb has its own specialty in this cleansing process. Onion, for example, is considered in Cyprian tradition as one of the most powerful exorcists of the plant kingdom. Its layered structure symbolizes the ability to penetrate different levels of consciousness and the energy field to extract negativity. When we cut an onion, it releases compounds that make us cry. On a spiritual level, according to St. Cyprian, this represents the onion's ability to make cry and expel the negative energies that have attached themselves to us. Wormwood, on the other hand, has an extremely bitter nature. This bitterness, according to Cyprian texts, is intolerable for negative entities and energies. When we use wormwood in our bath, we're creating a hostile environment for any witchcraft or curse that has been cast against us. It's like introducing a toxic element for negativity, forcing it to leave our energy field. Rue has a dual function. It cleanses and protects. Its characteristic aroma acts as a natural repellent for harmful energies. In St. Cyprian's texts, it is described how rue creates a kind of protective shield around the person using it. This shield not only blocks new negative influences, but also helps to expel those already present. If we decide to incorporate pine into our bath, we will be adding a purifying element to the space. Pine has the ability to cleanse not only our personal energy, but also the environment surrounding us. Ancient Cyprian texts mention that pine can sweep stagnant and negative energies from a house, allowing light and positivity to flow freely back into the space. And finally, tobacco, when used with respect and knowledge, acts as an amplifier for the properties of the other herbs. In Cyprian tradition, tobacco is believed to have the ability to open portals between dimensions, facilitating the exit of energies that do not belong to our existential plane. When we combine all these herbs in a ritual bath, we create an extraordinarily potent spiritual cleansing tool. Each herb attacks negativity from a different angle, closing all possible escape routes for harmful energies. It's important to mention that, according to St. Cyprian's texts, these herbs not only act on the physical and energetic planes, but also on the mental and emotional levels. As they eliminate negative influences, they also help clarify the mind and stabilize emotions, allowing us to regain our personal power and our ability to make clear and beneficial decisions. As you can see, this is not just a simple herbal bath. It's a complex system of spiritual cleansing developed and perfected over centuries, based on the deep knowledge that St. Cyprian had about how energies work and how we can manipulate them for our benefit. Now we come to a crucial part of this explanation: the warnings. I want to be completely honest and transparent with you because this ritual bath, while extremely effective, can have intense side effects that you need to be aware of before deciding to perform it. In the original texts of St. Cyprian, it is clearly mentioned that when we perform a deep spiritual cleansing, especially when eliminating witchcraft or significant accumulations of negative energy, what we might call a healing crisis occurs. Consider this a fair warning. So please pay close attention to what I'm about to explain. If you believe you are experiencing persistent bad luck, that someone has done witchcraft against you, or that there is some kind of spiritual blockage preventing you from moving forward in life, this bath can be extremely beneficial. But you must be prepared for what may happen during the cleansing process. After performing this ritual bath, you might experience some of the following effects: minor accidents like falls or trips, aches in different parts of the body, especially headaches, feelings of anxiety or restlessness, irritability, sudden mood swings, extreme fatigue, or even vivid and disturbing dreams. Why does this happen? According to Cyprian tradition, when a negative energy or witchcraft has been affecting us for a long time, this negativity becomes deeply rooted in our energy field and even in our physical body. It's like a poisonous root intertwined with our being. When we perform the ritual bath, we are essentially uprooting that root. And as you can imagine, that extraction process can be painful and turbulent. It's similar to when a dentist extracts an infected tooth. The procedure itself may be uncomfortable, but it's necessary to eliminate the source of the infection and allow true healing to begin. I'm going to share a real case I attended a few years ago. A woman around 40 came to consult me because she felt her life was completely stagnant. She had lost her job, her partner had left her, and she felt a constant pressure on her chest that doctors couldn't explain. After analyzing her situation, I recommended this St. Cyprian ritual bath. She followed my instructions to the letter, and what happened next was extraordinary. During the first 3 days after the first bath, her situation seemed to worsen. She had a minor car accident. Thankfully, with no serious consequences, the pressure in her chest intensified, and she had such vivid dreams that she would wake up screaming in the middle of the night. She was about to give up on the treatment when I explained to her that these were signs that the ritual was working, that the negativity was being expelled from her life, and that she was resisting its exit. Trusting me, she continued with the baths. After 2 weeks, having completed the cycle of 6 baths, the transformation was astonishing. The pressure in her chest completely disappeared. She received an unexpected call offering her a better job than the previous one, and she began to feel a lightness and mental clarity that she hadn't experienced in years. This is just one of many cases I've witnessed where this ritual has transformed lives. But I repeat, the process is not always easy or comfortable. That's why I say the following. If you fear change, if you are not willing to go through a period of turbulence to achieve spiritual freedom, or if you are not convinced that you truly have an energetic blockage or witchcraft affecting you, then do not perform this ritual bath. This is not a ritual to experiment out of curiosity. It's a powerful tool for those who truly need it. And to be completely transparent with you, I confess that I wouldn't dare to perform this ritual unless I was convinced that I needed it. The transformative power of this bath is such that it can completely revolutionize your life. And that means that things that no longer serve you, including relationships, jobs, or situations, may quickly disappear to make way for the new. Think of this ritual as a spiritual surgical operation. Just as you wouldn't subject your body to unnecessary surgery, you shouldn't perform this ritual unless you truly need it. But if you are suffering, if you feel that something or someone is blocking your path and stealing your happiness, then this bath could be the spiritual scalpel you need to cut those negative ties. So honestly ask yourselves, do you feel a constant resistance in your life? Do you experience repeated failures without a logical explanation? Do you have the intuition that something is wrong in your energy field? If the answer is yes, then this ritual bath may be exactly what you need. Despite the potential temporary side effects, now that you understand both the power and the precautions associated with this ritual, let's proceed with the detailed instructions on how to correctly perform the St. Cyprian bath against witchcraft and bad luck. According to St. Cyprian's teachings, the most auspicious days to carry out this type of cleansing rituals are Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesday is ruled by the planet Mars, which provides the combat energy needed to confront and overcome negative forces. Saturday, on the other hand, is ruled by Saturn, the planet governing endings and new beginnings, perfect for closing negative cycles and starting a new phase free from harmful influences. For optimal results, it is recommended to perform this bath a total of 4 to 6 times. You can start on a Tuesday, continue on the Saturday of that same week, then the following Tuesday, the Saturday after, and so on until you complete the cycle. This means the entire treatment will last between 2 and 3 weeks, depending on whether you decide to do 4 or 6 baths. Now, let's explain step by step how to prepare and apply this ritual bath. Step 1. Gather all the ingredients we mentioned. You will need a piece of onion, approximately 1/4 of a medium onion, a handful of wormwood, fresh or dried, a handful of rue, fresh or dried. Optional. A small handful of pine berries or needles, optional. A pinch of natural tobacco, not commercial cigarettes. Step 2. In a large pot, preferably stainless steel or ceramic, avoid aluminum pots, bring about 3 liters of water to a boil. The amount can vary depending on your height, but it should be enough for a bath up to your waist. Step 3. Once the water starts boiling, first add the piece of onion. Let it boil for about 2 minutes. According to Cyprian tradition, the onion should be the first ingredient to come into contact with the water to establish the foundation of the cleansing. Step 4. After 2 minutes, add the wormwood and rue to the boiling water. If you decided to use pine and/or tobacco, add them now as well. Let all the ingredients boil together for about 7 more minutes. Step 5. While the herbs are boiling, St. Cyprian recommended reciting the following prayer. You can say it out loud or mentally. St. Cyprian, you who knew the secrets of darkness and now walk in the light, help me free myself from all negative influence, from all witchcraft, from all curses and the evil eye. May these sacred herbs cleanse my body, my mind, and my spirit. May they break all the invisible chains that bind me to misfortune and bad luck. I decree that from this day forward, I am free from all negativity. Amen. Step 6. After 7 minutes, turn off the heat and let the mixture rest and cool until it reaches a pleasant temperature for the bath, warm, not hot. This natural cooling process is important because, according to Cyprian texts, it allows the spiritual properties of the herbs to fully integrate with the water. Step 7. While you wait for the water to cool, prepare the space where you will perform the bath. Ideally, it should be a quiet place where you won't be interrupted. St. Cyprian recommended lighting a white candle to illuminate the cleansing process. Step 8. Once the water is at a suitable temperature, strain it to separate the herbs from the liquid. Some practitioners recommend leaving the herbs in the water during the bath, but in my experience, it's more practical and effective to strain the preparation. Step 9. Take the prepared water to the bath. Undress completely, take a quick shower with neutral soap to cleanse your physical body, and then proceed with the ritual bath. Step 10. The bath should be performed in a specific way. Start pouring the water from your head, ensuring it flows over your entire body down to your feet. As you do this, visualize how all negativity, blockages, and witchcraft dissolve and go down the drain. According to St. Cyprian, it is especially important for the water to touch 7 specific points on the body: the crown of the head, the forehead, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, stomach area, the lower abdomen, and the feet. These are considered energy centers where negativity tends to accumulate. Step 11. During the bath, mentally repeat the following affirmation 3 times. With the power of St. Cyprian, I break and dissolve all work, witchcraft, curses, evil eye, and negative energy affecting me. I am free, I am protected, and the divine light guides me towards prosperity and abundance. Step 12. After you've bathed completely with the preparation, do not dry off with a towel. Allow your body to air dry naturally if possible. This allows the energetic properties of the bath to continue acting on your energy field. Step 13. The clothes you wear after the bath should be clean and preferably light-colored. According to Cyprian tradition, after the first bath, it is recommended to dress in white garments to symbolize a new beginning. Step 14. A very important detail, according to St. Cyprian, is the correct way to dispose of the used herbs. Never throw them in your home's trash can. You must take them to a crossroads, a river, or a place far away from your home. As you dispose of them, say, "With these herbs goes all the negativity that was in my life. It will never return." This procedure should be repeated each time you perform the bath, following the Tuesday and Saturday cycle I mentioned earlier. Remember that between baths, you may experience the side effects I described in the warnings, but these are signs that the cleansing process is working. I want to reinforce some important warnings and share with you additional guidelines to maximize the benefits of this powerful cleansing ritual. As I already mentioned, this bath can provoke what is known in Cyprian tradition as a healing crisis. Don't be alarmed if after the first baths you feel physical, emotional, or mental discomfort. You may experience fatigue, irritability, headaches, dizziness, or even minor accidents. All of this is part of the process of expelling negative energies. It's like when we clean an infected wound. At first, it may sting and hurt more, but that indicates that the cleaning is working. In the same way, these temporary symptoms indicate that negative energies are being expelled from your energy field. However, if the symptoms are too intense or concerning, you can modify the preparation by using fewer herbs to make the bath milder. Cyprian tradition is flexible and allows for adjustments based on each person's needs and sensitivities. Now, once you have completed the full cycle of baths, 4 to 6 sessions, It's essential to perform a balancing and protection ritual. It's not enough to eliminate the negative. We must also attract the positive and protect ourselves to prevent new harmful influences from entering our lives. To this end, I recommend performing a luck attraction bath after finishing the cleansing baths. You can use ingredients like cinnamon, honey, yellow or golden flower petals, and orange essence. This complementary bath will help attract positive energies to fill the void left by eliminating the negative. It's also highly advisable to light candles after completing the treatment. According to St. Cyprian tradition, white candles attract protection and purification, green candles attract prosperity and abundance, and red candles attract vitality and passion. Choose those that correspond to the areas of your life you wish to strengthen. Throughout the process, it's important to maintain a positive attitude and have faith that the ritual is working. The mind is a crucial component in any spiritual work. If you perform the baths with doubts or skepticism, their effectiveness may be reduced. As St. Cyprian himself said in his writings, faith is the catalyst that activates the power of sacred herbs. I also advise you that during the treatment period, avoid places with a high accumulation of negative energy, such as hospitals, cemeteries, or sites where animal sacrifices are practiced. Additionally, try to reduce contact with toxic people or those you know harbor envy or ill will towards you. Remember that this bath completely wipes out negative energies in all aspects, which means it can bring dramatic changes to your life. Be prepared to let go of situations, relationships, or circumstances that no longer serve you, no matter how attached you are to them. This is a process of spiritual rebirth, and as such, it involves the symbolic death of the old to make way for the new. If you carefully follow all these instructions and recommendations, I can assure you that you will see significant results in your life after completing the treatment. The Cyprian tradition has proven over centuries that these methods work when applied with respect and knowledge. To conclude this video, I want to share with you a protective prayer attributed to St. Cyprian that you can recite after completing the entire cycle of baths. This prayer acts as a protective seal that prevents new negative energies from attaching to your energy field. I, say your full name, having been cleansed and purified by the power of the sacred herbs of St. Cyprian, declare myself free from all negative influence, from all witchcraft, from all curses and the evil eye. By the power of St. Cyprian, I decree that my inner light shines so brightly that it repels all darkness. I am protected, I am blessed, I am in harmony with the divine forces of the universe. So it is, so shall it be. My dear friends, I deeply appreciate your attention throughout this video. I hope you've understood the seriousness and power of this spiritual cleansing ritual based on the teachings of St. Cyprian. Remember that spirituality is a path of responsibility. These ancient teachings have been passed down from generation to generation to help us free ourselves from suffering and reach our fullest potential. If you found this video helpful, please share it with those you think might benefit from this information. Leave your comments sharing your experiences if you decide to perform this ritual. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more content on rituals, spiritual protection, and personal growth. In upcoming videos, I will be sharing more rituals from the Cyprian tradition for different purposes, attracting love, economic prosperity, physical healing, and much more. So stay tuned for new posts. May the light and protection of St. Cyprian always accompany you on your journey. Many blessings to all of you, and until the next video,